To get all types of powder in the most efficient way, you need to do things right from the very beginning, which is why I'll give you a step-by-step guide from Heart of the Mountain 1 on how to make your grind later a lot easier. Starting off, no matter which Heart of the Mountain you are, if you see an active mining event, I'm not talking about Better Together, I'm talking about Goblin Raid, Raffle and that type of shit, you should immediately go and participate in it. Each one of them gives you 10,000 mithril powder on average, which is kinda crazy. The only thing you need to remember is to give Dawn 50 tasty mithril every time, because this gives you the maximum amount of mithril powder. You know the second one, I'm not gonna elaborate, just do the Fetcher and Puzzler. This is especially important now because they removed mithril powder from treasure chests, so now you get a lot less mithril powder. Which means that now we can actually start. Up until Heart of the Mountain 4, where you unlock the Crystal Hollows, just do your commissions as usual. And if you happen to have a lot of money, you can buy with it items that can increase the amount of mithril powder you get. Just make sure that you hold/use them when doing a task like the Fetcher. At last, if you have any kind of equipment, you can put the Royal Reforge on it to get 20% more mithril powder from events. Getting to Heart of the Mountain 4 should take no longer than 8 days, and if you did what I said, you should have at least 75,000 mithril powder that you can use to get some mining fortune and mining spread for the next stage. When you get to the Crystal Hollows, there is a way to get a lot of powder from just doing your commissions. First thing you need to do is to have your Heart of the Mountain aligned this way, and then put all your mithril powder on fortune, and gemstone powder mainly also on fortune, but also some mole and season mineman is kinda nice. How this works is you should do about 30 commissions per day while not exceeding the 2500 gemstones per day limit. This ensures you get 3 times as much gemstone powder, which adds up to quite a lot. And don't worry about the commissions, doing 30 should only take you up to like 1 hour if you have armadillo and like a basic drill. And just like before, if you have the money, there are a couple of good things you can buy to increase your powder gain. When you get to Heart of the Mountain 5, I recommend you get the daily powder for a decent amount of extra powder. This will not be 3500, it will be 2500 for you. But if you know you won't be able to do it daily because you'll just forget, or I don't know, for any other reason, just get Skyblock. It's actually pretty nice, and there is a perk which gives you more powder. Either way, when you get to Heart of the Mountain 6, get both Daily Grind and Skyblock. This will give you 6000 powder of mithril and gemstone per day, so it's pretty nice. Just don't forget to do also a Dwarven Mines commission. If you followed my guidelines, you should get to Heart of the Mountain tier 7 in about 20 days and have about 1.6 million gemstone powder. This is where you can start treasure grinding. Your setup should be mineral armor with Fleet Reforge on your pickaxe, and for pet you need Armadillo Legendary for the 4th perk. You can upgrade this by getting the Snail Pet for a nice increase in mining spread, and if you have a shit ton of money, you can also buy like glossary mineral armor. It's a possibility. Because you lose the mining spread from the snail, you should only upgrade to the Skatha when you have enough mining spread so that it becomes actually better. If I haven't forgotten, it should be on screen right now. Just make sure that the Skatha you get is tier boosted, because you really don't need the extra pet item. Your Heart of the Mountain should look something like this, and you can put the other 4 tokens on whatever you like. You should upgrade your Great Explorer as high as you can, which if you listen to me, you should have enough for level 20. This is very good because you don't have to worry about locks. The rest of your gemstone powder should go to mole and powder buff to get more powder and to mine more heartstone. You can do basically whatever you want with your mithril powder, but I recommend putting it on efficient miner because mining spread also helps gemstones, obviously. Now, when you actually do the grind and get your chests, make sure that if you see a golden or a diamond goblin, kill it, because you will need the mithril powder later on. Potentially you should grind until you have 7.5 million gemstone powder for max powder buff and max speedy mine, but I haven't done that and you probably won't as well, so get 4 million for now, it should be enough. Talking about powder, the next one you should try to get is mithril powder, because you don't need at least 200 million coins just for the drill to only have the breaking power enough to mine glacite. Your armor and equipment can be as basic as just glacite and mithril, just make sure you put fine amber and the oil reforge. But you probably should have the mithril drill 3 to 6 and the legendary mithril golem to get yourself a lot more mithril powder. As I said before, you should upgrade speedy mine and powder buff with your gemstone powder. And with mithril you should upgrade efficient miner and then a little mining speed. The rest of your tokens should go to Skyblock because it's just so good, and the pickables ability. You can put the rest on like quick forge or I don't know, like precision mining. A couple of important notes. You should upgrade the core of the mountain to level 4 for +1 base mithril powder, and you should actually mine the prismarine type of the mithril instead of the blue version, because in total it actually gives you more mithril powder. This still means that you do your pickables ability like on the blue and the prismarine, and this also helps you to do commissions faster if you want to upgrade your heart of the mountain. If you done the commissions and just focus on mithril powder and do the mining events, as I said before, you're looking at about 110,000 mithril powder per hour, which is pretty good. The last thing I'm gonna say is a great way to get mithril powder on all heart of the mountain levels is to just be AFK here in the Dwarven Mines, and whenever you hear the da-da-da-da signaling a new event, just look, and if it's an active event, just go around and do it. This is especially good if, just like now, you have the legendary mithril golem and the upgraded mithril drill. The last thing you have to do is to get glacite powder. But the thing is, to be able to mine glacite, you need the titanium drill 555, which costs 200 million coins. This is why, if you already plan to do that, I also recommend getting a better armor and things to increase how much powder you get, like the spicy omelette and glacite golem. And before you even start mining here, I recommend you have at least 1.5 million mithril powder, so you can get 200 mining spread, and also have enough mithril powder to upgrade your mining speed to a decent level. For those who skipped here and jumped over the mithril powder, 1, come on, and 2, your heart of the mountain should look like this, and with your gemstone powder you should upgrade speedy mine and powder buff. I'll get to higher heart of the mountain levels later on. Never mind, I'm talking about it now. The rest of the tree depends on which of the 2 main ways to get mithril powder you choose. Both of them require you to just mine as much glacite as you can, but in the first one you try to get as many glacite mineshafts as possible and use amber and tungsten keys on the corpses, which I warn now is not profitable, so do that only if you have a lot of money. In this method you really benefit from getting to higher heart of the mountain levels for perks like Servior and other things which increase how much stats you have in the glacite mineshaft. The second option is to only enter the mineshaft just for like bestiary and shit. For those, you really don't need higher heart of the mountain levels. but the tokens can be nice to upgrade a couple of things which you don't have right now. Oh yeah, I just realized, have precision mining, like have it, it's very good. The last thing I'll talk about is cold and cold resistance. There are items on screen right now that give you cold resistance, which basically means if you have, like, for example, 20 cold resistance, having up to -20 cold won't affect your mining speed. And above that, as you have more cold, you mine slower, obviously. I recommend you get at least the items that I marked in green. It will make it so that you have to leave the mine shaft less frequently. That's it. I hope you enjoy powder grinding, and please subscribe if you want to see more things like this.